Plastic bottles okay, plastic bags not? Share this. If plastic water bottles are okay, but plastic bags are banned, you might live in a nation, state, that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. Such is the quote attributed comedian and sage Jeff Foxworthy that's been circulating throughout the internet since 2013. Only one problem. Jeff didn't say it. Bummer, so I guess that means I can't narrate the rest of that profound quote. But on second thought, why not? If no one has claimed credit for this viral classic in the past 5 years, today being March 15, 2018, I'm gonna run with it. Here's the rest of the quote, and if the true genius wishes to come forward, we'll gladly give him or her the hat tip. We do live in such a dumb country. If you can get arrested for hunting or fishing without a license, but not for entering and remaining in the country illegally, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If you have to get your parents' permission to go on a field trip or to take an aspirin in school, but not to get an abortion, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If you must show your identification to board an airplane, cash a check, buy liquor, or check out a library book and rent a video, but not to vote for who runs the government, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If the government wants to prevent stable, law-abiding citizens from owning gun magazines that hold more than 10 rounds, but gives 20 F-16 fighter jets to the crazy new leaders in Egypt, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If, in the nation's largest city, you can buy 2 16-ounce sodas, but not one 24-ounce soda, because 24 ounces of a sugary drink might make you fat, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If an 80-year-old woman who is confined to a wheelchair or a 3-year-old girl can be strip-searched by the TSA at the airport, but a woman in a burqa or a hijab is only subject to having her neck and head searched, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If your government believes that the best way to eradicate trillions of dollars of debt is to spend trillions more, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If a 7-year-old boy can be thrown out of school for saying his teacher is cute but hosting a sexual exploration or diversity class in grade school is perfectly acceptable, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If hard work and success are met with higher taxes and more government regulation and intrusion while not working is rewarded with food stamps, WIC checks, Medicaid benefits, subsidized housing, and free cell phones, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If you pay your mortgage faithfully, denying yourself the newest big screen TV, while your neighbor buys iPhones, timeshares, a wall-sized do-it-all plasma screen TV and new cars, and the government forgives his debt when he defaults on his mortgage, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. If being stripped of your constitutional right to defend yourself makes you more safe according to the government, you might live in a nation that was founded by geniuses but is run by idiots. Think before you vote in all upcoming elections. Most of the idiots running this country say one thing and do the opposite, knowing that the people who voted them and do not pay attention to what they do but only what they say. Thank you for watching. Thank you even more for thinking. And thank you to some lone human being on Earth who wrote this anonymous text. While we're not sure who wrote this classic viral text, we at least now know it wasn't written by Jeff Foxworthy, but whoever it was, we offer a virtual hat tip since they summed up political stupidity so succinctly. But the ending of this video is by me, a random Joe, who will conclude by saying that there are only 2 things God and government have in common. The first 2 letters of their names, G-O. I just wish politicians would go away and leave us alone. Lest we forget, there were only 10 guidelines etched in stone by the finger of God. But self-styled genius politicians and clergy alike keep piling on more and more onerous rules and regulations for us to abide by while they won't touch them with their little fingers. If it weren't for double standards, politicians might have no standards at all. So, should it surprise us that since so many politicians seem to think they are smarter than God that they would issue themselves their own private healthcare and even a private post office? They even have their own private bathrooms so they never have to sit where any of the great unwashed masses sit in their great rotundas. If there were only one law I wish could be passed, it would be for politicians and clergy to be forced to live by the same standards they set for us. Then we might run into them in a public restroom where we can suggest they take their new rules and laws and regulations and flush them down the toilet, their home toilets. Then and only then, when they see their toilet overflowing from the thousands of pages of bills they never read before passing them, and when they see undigested food overflowing onto their ivory tile, they may see the utter ugliness of big government they have created in their own image.
Clean TV.